Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I am the Sarah the Koala. You can find all my videos here on YouTube and you'll also find me on Twitch every Wednesday and Friday from 7 PM UK time until late, playing this and many other games. And usually with viewers, so if you're in need of any help, come by my stream and we can see if we can go about helping you on that. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe so you can get notified of my new videos, and feedback is always welcome, so jump on my stream, leave me a comment or leave me a comment below. Now this video is part 2 of a multi-series that I'll be making about Dead by Daylight, so I'll go through how to play from absolute beginner to becoming at least slightly better. This episode goes through the survivor side of things, so it covers how not to be a shitty teammate, how to do generators, cleansing totems, skill checks, getting hooked, exit gates, and a little bit about handling a phase camping killer. But overall it's about having fun and enjoying your journey, whether you're surviving with your friends or you're solo queuing. So with that going on and the introduction done, let's go ahead and have a look. Icons. There are many different icons that will show up on the bottom of your screen or somewhere else, but if you're a survivor you get a good indication about how the game is going by looking at your team statuses on the bottom left. My icon indicated that I was injured and then I got whacked down into the dying state, and so my icon changed. The second one along is a hook to indicate my teammate is now on a hook. Third one is showing that that person's in a full state, and the fourth one is showing that the person's disconnected. Either they took the L because they didn't like the way the game was going, maybe they got hit first and threw a tantrum, or their internet was really bad and you just kicked them out. There is another couple of icons that you'll see throughout this play anyway, but one of the main ones is if you see username and it's got some hooks or claws around it. That indicates to you that that person is the obsession for the game. That means that if the killer manages to get them on their final hook and kills them, they get extra points. So usually the killer will try and make a beeline when they find that person out. You can tell if that person's being chased as well, because once the obsession is being chased, the claws go to a brighter white and they start moving around that person's name. So it's really good to keep an eye on that. Getting hooked and not being a shitty teammate. When the killer knocks you down for the first time, they'll more than likely pick you up and chuck you onto the nearest hook. And there are 3 main stages to a hook. Stage 1, you hang there and pray that somebody gets you before stage 2. Stage 2 will automatically kick in if you've been on the hook a little too long or if it's your second time on the hook. You're in struggle. So this means that the entity bears down on you and you have to button bash just to stay in the game. At this point your only real hope is that somebody comes to get you. Unlike in this example where Mr. Douchebag is behind me and he's teabagging. Stage 3, the entity claims you as one of their own and you get impaled and taken away. Now when we get to the end game screen where you can see all the points, you've also got the opportunity to spectate. So this is what I did here, and you can see the reason why Sir Douchebag didn't come to get me. He found the hatch, which will bring on this kind of reaction.
Or you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Now, we've all had rage like this. However, you've got to be really careful, especially with the Dead by Daylight community. They can be extremely toxic or salty. And if you start to send messages to killers and or survivors, giving them a piece of your mind, telling them exactly how you feel about them due to rage-inducing typing keyboard warrior madness, they can report you and they can be pretty active on this. You can get a 3, a 7 or even a permaban, depending on how rough you gave it to them. So just bear that in mind. Is it worth it? Instead of getting rage, sometimes it's just funnier to join them. Here I can see I've got a set of survive with friends. You usually can tell because they hang around in groups of the same character. So why not join them for a laugh? Hiding or evading the killer. Trees and crates are your friend, but you have to be careful. When you run, you leave scratch marks and the killer will be able to see them. So if you decide to run behind a tree, the killer will see a trail leading to you. Sometimes the killer may also have perks on like whispers or spies from the shadows, so they can guess your location or get notified if you disturb a crow. You can walk around the tree as well, but as you can see, with my crouching skills, it wasn't successful. When you're running around or trying to evade the killer, using a zigzag technique can help you run circles around them. As you can see here, I'm running around and I've just stood by a pallet that I was going to use to stun him should he walk near me, but it looks like he found somebody else and left me alone. Exit gates. Immediately I hear and see a signal on my screen to advise me that all the generators have been done and we can go and power the exit gates to escape. You can see that I powered the gate almost completely, and this is a term called 99ing. The reason behind this is once the gate is opened, the exit sequence initiates, which gives you a timer to escape. If fellow survivors are about to get hooked, it's generally a nice idea to hold off opening it until you think everyone is safe or at least ready. For instance, if they're running at you and there's a killer behind them, open that gate, try and get a protection here and save them. Whilst I had the door 99'd, however, I decided to go and look for treasure. Items. As you can see, I got quite lucky. I managed to open up a chest and grab an item that I didn't come in with. If you leave with an item that you found in a chest or on the floor, you get to keep it as long as you've escaped, and it's also then replenished so you can fully use it. You only really lose an item on death, or if you leave it in the game when you leave. Hatches. You saw a moment ago that Sir Douche-a-lot and his hatch technique, so let's talk about hatches properly. Hatches open on a few occasions. 1, if all the survivors leave apart from you. 2, if you have a pink or purple key. Or 3, if all the survivors die and you're the last one standing. The hatch, however, can be closed by the killer if it's open, but if you have a pink or purple key, you can also open it back up. If you're the last survivor and the killer closes the hatch, regardless if there's any generators left, the exit gates will power, allowing you to activate them, but be careful. Chances are the killer's going to be patrolling these. You can see here, I was the last survivor in the game, and I was about to go through the door that I 99'd earlier on, but I heard the hatch open. You can get points for escaping by the hatch, and there are also some achievements you can get by escaping this way as well. Pay attention for that noise. Totems. Here you can see I've 99'd the door again, but I didn't fully open it. Again I go ahead and I'm on the hunt for some treasure, and I came across this glowing totem. We call this a hex totem. These hold special perks that the killer has equipped for them pre-game. This one, for example, held something which means as soon as the gens are done, the killer can one-hit down everyone. As you can just see from this poor survivor, and it's called NOED, no one escapes death. It also shows up on the screen once someone's gone down that the killer has this perk to alert you. As soon as I was finished cleansing that totem, it made a loud crash noise and the icons disappeared, informing me that this is the hex totem that held NOED, and I was able to stop the killer from continuing to get them one-hit downs. So we were all safe to go and make a rescue attempt. Face camping or face camp killer. Face camping has been declared by the Dead by Daylight community as shitty gameplay, but effective, and it isn't actually against the rules. It's hard to counter, but with good teamwork it is possible. As you can see on this example, I'm running Kindred, so I can see the other survivors, and when someone is hooked they may also be able to see me. I then signal to them to let them know that I'm about to go for that save by crouching down, waving at them to try and get them to join me. When I get the Bill off the hook, I try to make myself the killer's target because Bill is still one hit away from going back down and getting back on that hook. So I try and make myself a distraction by throwing down a pallet and trying to lure them my way. As you can see, we all act as a team and we run behind the injured survivor to try and save them and get some protection hits. We can all get at least one hit in now that NOED's gone, but once the killer hits you once, you tend to charge ahead for a couple of seconds. So you can see here I've overtaken the Bill. The killer also has a cooldown as well from their swings, so I've overtaken the Bill and we're both heading for the exit gate, and we all managed to get away from the camping nurse. Skill checks. In this next clip you see me just casually fixing a generator by myself and a noise prompts my attention to indicate something's about to happen. This is a skill check that appears on my screen. You can get skill checks during a generator, healing a survivor, or if you've got Laurie Strode's Decisive Strike perk, when you're getting carried by a killer. A circle with a fast moving dial appears on my screen and you need to press that button on your controller or hit that key on your keyboard the second that little dial goes into that bar. If you manage to hit in that tiny little white bar, however, it's known as a great skill check. You get more points and it boosts your progression of a repair or a heal. Hitting the good skill check, however, is that small little black bar. Still does some great stuff. However, if you fail to hit either two of them little bars with that dial, if you're working on a generator, it'll blow the generator up, alerting the killer of where you are. It also reduces the progression of that generator. If you fail that skill check when you're healing a survivor, it makes that survivor yelp out so the killer could possibly hear them. So just be really careful, try and hit everyone. You're only human. If you miss one, you miss one. And this concludes our second chapter of Dead by Daylight tutorials. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please help support this channel by clicking the like button and subscribe if you'd like to get notifications of when I've next uploaded a video. Also, if you dabble on Twitch and you want to come see me live and have a chat or join in, who knows, maybe you'll be on the next video, feel free to come find me on Sarah the Koala at Twitch. Thanks again, I hope to see you soon.